not just a hobby, it's a superpower. And today we are unlocking the minds, the moments, and the magic behind every great book on Edo Bookshelf, which is a program designed to showcase the importance and productivity of reading culture at all levels. Because when we read, we don't just absorb facts, we build empathy, strengthen focus, and expand our mental maps. Reading connected to the world we have never seen and to part of ourselves we have never met. Edo Bookshelf, raising and projecting literary giants and informed leaders in our society. Tune in with Oseyande Idede and Chelsea Osho, live on EBS Television.
Good day, viewers. Welcome to the program. Edo Bookshelf, reaching you live from EBS TV. Of course, Edo Bookshelf is that amazing, exciting, and educative program whereby we talk about the promotion of books and reading culture. I'm Chelsea Osho, and with me in the studio is my co-presenter, Idede. Idede, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chelsea.
And we also have a special guest in the house. His name is Goswi Chukwemeka. He's also an educational and tech consultant. He shares boards in other 4 companies, including BoldScholar.com. Welcome, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How was your journey to this place? You came all the way from Abuja. You surprised me. How was your trip?
Very good.
I'm happy you're here today.
Yeah.
All right, amazing viewers. Our topic to discuss today is titled "The Certain Factors That Distracts University Students from Reading Habits." Of course, there are so many factors that actually distract students because some students, they don't read books regularly, and there are certain factors that is responsible, including cultural factors, their surrounding, and also institutional factors whereby certain libraries, they don't have enough adequate books, and also maybe overcrowded classrooms, and also environmental factors like noise pollution here and there. They'll be distracted, and sometimes they won't have lack of interest outside, too much concentration on the social media. I don't know if my co-presenter agrees with me on that. He did it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, aside the fact that there are some aspects I was expecting you to mention that you did not mention, or you did not make it very clear. Like when you talk about the society, there is a shift. The value system has shifted from what it used to be. So now we now have a society where money talks. And so nobody is interested in books anymore. We just want to find the money.
Gradually. All right, sir. I don't know what's your view on that. Do you agree with me, or do you have other views concerning those factors that affect students from reading culture?
Well, besides
You're an educational consultant.
Yeah. Well, besides the value system shift, I think some other thing is the packaging of the contents. And that is one part I've always screamed about. You know, the packaging of the contents. When a child, look at babies, when a baby doesn't want to eat, what does the parent do? Sometimes you can take the medicine and put it in Eba and give to the baby. Sometimes you put it elsewhere and give it to the baby, and the baby will eat it.
Sure.
So what I mean by the packaging of the content or the work itself is how books are presented to the current children, readers. If I give you a tablet to read books from now, would you carry it? The stone tablet. You wouldn't. The people that use scroll to read refuse to use tablets. So the people that produce books now have to move it up to scroll. So after a while, scroll was phased out. If I gave you scroll now to read some books, you wouldn't like to use it. You would prefer paper. But we are in the digital age.
Sure.
You understand? And you're still forcing people to read from papers. The people we have now are young people who are tech savvy, who would want to use electronic devices. They want to hear the audio, they want to watch the video, they want to listen, they want to read it from their mobile devices. And you're trying to force it down their throat to carry books around when a device can carry billions of books. And you can read it in different on both Scholar, for instance, you can actually read a book in 14 languages. You can switch in real time. I can be reading in English and I'm having problem. I switch to Igbo language so I can have a better understanding. How many books? It means for you to have 14 languages in books, you have to carry 14 books.
So are you saying now that, are you in support that students, like university students now, they should, stand on that pattern that you're talking about? They should not really rely on just paper. They can read on with their phones. No, because we are in the digital world. Is that
good.
What you're saying?
What I'm saying is that children, or rather young people, have lost interest in reading because you are forcing it down their throat in a way they don't like it.
And the way you think they like it is through that digital form.
Good. So that's where they are. They are on the digital platform. They are on digital space.
So where do you now bring in the distraction? The books, are they programmed or they are internet-based?
Well, you wouldn't say it's programmed. It's internet-based.
Okay.
Now, there's the issue of social media distraction while using the device. Yes.
Like TikTok,
yes.
Facebook.
Good.
Instagram and the likes.
But the distraction would always be there, even when they are reading ordinary paper. There is a distraction of someone walking in and playing. You were in school.
Yeah.
How sometimes you'll be reading and someone. Remember in my secondary school days, when I was writing an exam, a classmate walked into where my friend and I were reading, and he said, "It would be like saying I Sabi book past everybody," and two of them beat us.
Are you serious?
Yes. Serious fight, though. And the guy, these are the hoodlums of the class. So what happened was, I went home and my dad saw my clothes torn and he said, "What happened?" I said, "We were reading and somebody, a classmate, walked into the classroom and fought us."
But digital system does not take away that. They can
No.
still snatch your tablet from you.
Yeah. but what I'm trying to say is that the distraction will always be there. But the point is, the mode of reading has changed. You're trying to make the people. If I gave you tablet now to use, you would throw it away. If I gave you scroll, you wouldn't touch it.
Not for me.
You would prefer paper because that's the age you were raised.
I'm by conception. Now let me
Yes.
tell you something. You made mention of there could be distractions.
Yes.
Even the person is reading using paper. My kind of a person. I'm disciplined.
Okay.
It's all about discipline. If you can discipline yourself, you said, okay, this is time for read. There's time to play. There's time to be serious.
Beautiful.
So if you have that self-discipline and say, this is the time I want to read. Come rain, come sun, I'm not going to listen to Jack.
There's a button on the
You
device.
understand?
There's
so
a button on every
you shut
device.
down every other thing and
Beautiful.
you focus. So if you focus and you don't give room to any distraction, of course you will get your goal.
What was the
So it's about
percentage? What
self-discipline.
was the percentage of young people that think they have that discipline? Is that not why we have
It's about the tip of the mind.
even class attendance? They've not been able to discipline themselves to turn up
But
for
everybody's
class
not the
attendance.
same.
No,
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
but there's a button on every device. When I walked in here, I was told to put my phone on airplane mode. If I put my phone on airplane mode, I won't get any notification.
It's your maturity that comes in. How
Yes.
many, even in church, how many of them would discipline themselves? When you hear in my church now, I have to do a very big, let's reverence God and put phone on silent.
silent.
Exactly.
In the midst of that, you still hear.
That's the truth.
So if adults are finding it difficult to even obey instructions, do you think those teenagers in
But does
university?
that mean all the adults do not obey instructions?
It's not all, but the percentage that do not will, for youth now, it will be worse. Now, let's even put it in context. Okay, since we have narrowed it now to tech because of our guest.
Yes.
Now let's put it in context.
Okay.
In Nigeria, for example, I don't know how many power banks you need to carry for your devices, for you to be able to have a device that can help you stay online in a Nigeria campus. I'm sure you are aware now that we're having power issues in universities. Let's use Unibe, for example, which is very close to us.
Okay.
Before then, people go to near campus area because they said that's where they have lights.
Yes.
But now campus area now have darkness.
Sure.
And so if you now bring in this tech, do you think we are of age, Nigeria in
And it's
perspective?
stand the test of
Do you
time.
think, no, with test of time it can, but at present, do you
presently,
think,
that's what I'm saying,
because
at present.
it left to you will just say, face out books, face out paper, bring tablets.
You can't face out
papers
paper.
can never be phased out.
It can never.
Do you know that scrolls still exist?
Sure.
Till today. You understand? But it's very minimal. It's very little.
Very few.
Very few number. You understand? So the thing is this. The crux of the matter is that we have to serve the food in the plates that people can eat it. That is the crux of the matter.
And that plate is digital.
Digital. And you don't need to be online to have data. The moment you download your book, you read it. Are you getting it? So you read it, but the thing is this, it makes it easier for the reader, especially the present age. This is tech age.
You still have
and Nigeria is ripe for it. The internet proliferation now is very strong. We are over 114 million people
On the internet.
on the internet. I'm talking about Nigeria.
Yes.
Globally, I think it's over 3 billion.
If not more.
Yeah. So, but the thing is this, you can easily share contents. You can easily read and, save what you're reading. Now, if I bought a book now and I got beaten by the rain, maybe while walking somewhere, I'll lose the book. If I lose my device, if it is some platforms like Boat Scholar, like Amazon, all you need to do is simply get another device, log in, and have access to what you've bought.
The same way you also buy another book.
No, but you're going to pay again for books.
If I get another device, are you not buying another device? You're not paying for it.
Wait. That book alone, the device serves many purposes. The book only serves the text purpose.
It's all right. I want to, let me say 60% in accordance. I agree with you 60%.
Okay.
We'll come back.
All right.
My lovely viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back soon. You're still on to the program, Edo Bookshelf, reaching you live from EBS TV.
Reading is not just a hobby, it's a superpower. And today we are unlocking the minds, the moments, and the magic behind every great book on Edo Bookshelf, which is a program designed to showcase the importance and productivity of reading culture at all levels. Because when we read, we don't just absorb facts, we build empathy, strengthen focus, and expand our mental maps. Reading connected to the world we have never seen and to part of ourselves we have never met. Edo Bookshelf, raising and projecting literary giants and informed leaders in our society. Tune in with Oseyande Idede and Chelsea Osho, live on EBS Television.
All right, sir. Why do you think some university students struggle with the consistency of reading habits, especially university students? Why do you think some of them still struggle with the consistency of reading habits?
Okay, now the thing is, in Nigeria we have a lot of distractions. Certain things you take as prayer topic in Nigeria, other places wouldn't be prayer topic. If you had constant lights, in Nigeria, light is a prayer topic. You have something you pray in God, please let there be lights today. It's not elsewhere. So now, the thing I'm trying to say is that Nigerians generally have a lot of distractions. You have hunger problem. You have the teacher even teaching the right thing.
Socio-economic problem
You understand? So, and most times, we have teachers who do not motivate you to read. Currently, we have teachers, I can boldly say this, 60% of teachers we have in the institutions from primary school, I don't want to say, I think it's even higher than that. From primary school to the tertiary are not there because they have the hunger to teach. They are there because there's no other job. If you give them another job, they will change.
Really?
I'm telling you the truth. That is why most of them, when TED Fund started providing them, opportunities to travel and study, some of them don't come back.
But it's not just teachers alone now. It's virtually all professions.
Yeah, but
it's the survival system.
Yes, it's true. But there were days when teachers had this hunger to teach. There were other alternatives. Somebody will graduate with first class. Jobs will be out there calling you, and the person say, "I want to teach."
There were also your reward is in heaven.
There were also days when doctors will want to treat and not bother with whether you are depositing something or not. So the system, everybody is a victim of the system. But there's something I want us to emphasize on why we are going tech now. How do you think? We're talking about how it should be served. How do you think that we can still make them read? Personally, I'm running a PGD program, and it's online. So once I say it's online, we are using device. And you see, the lecturers keep sharing with us e-copies of these books. And then you still come to class, they give us opportunity to write maybe seminar, everything is with AI and all those stuff now, you can actually use those things.
Okay.
But still, people cannot still meet up with assignment deadlines. People still tell you, this book, I can't do this or I can't do that. So meaning, even with device, the person that does not have the culture as, let me borrow a word, that is not disciplined to read, will still not read. So how do you think we can repackage this thing and make it more entertaining for people to enjoy reading?
Okay, now reading, there's something which, at Bold Scholar, there's something we're trying to do now. We're trying to provide video books. Now, what is video books? Video books is those stories. Imagine Things Fall Apart. Chinua Achebe. I'm using the most popular African creative work, Things Fall Apart. Imagine watching it as a video. It will be interesting. There were days, you know, some of us who grew up in those days enjoyed it. When Peter Edochie was Okonkwo, you know, you're watching it, very interesting. Everybody would sit by the black and white television and watch it. It was interesting. And I can tell you a good number of people that watched it, they didn't read the text. But they enjoyed it, they can narrate the story.
Know the story.
Now, what we're trying to bring back that, so that those texts, now, 3 things that can be done. If you don't like to read the text, you can listen to the audio.
Yeah.
And you can play it, you know, in your car while moving, the ebook. Now, if you don't want to listen and you don't want to read the text, you can now watch the movie of the book.
Okay.
So we're trying to bring, so what are we trying to do to make sure that people are engaged in literature, in reading, the reading habit? And we're in the audio-visual age where people can spend hours on TikTok just watching videos.
Yes. But they can't spend that amount of time for reading.
You can't spend 2 minutes to read now.
So how do we put this visualizing now in, how do you put Fourier series? Because I studied engineering.
Okay.
So how do you put those our engineering, mathematics, and all those things? How do you put it in video for us to play in the car and enjoy?
Beautiful. There's AI. What Bold Scholar is trying to, you know, deploy now is AI. AI can do whatever you prompt it to do. Are you getting it? AI can come out and teach you as if someone is standing before you, and you're using someone, you know, a face of someone, and the person reads those things to you, and can even, whatever you tell him to do, he will do it. If it is creative work, the movie will be acted for you. You will watch it as a movie, you know, and it will be in series, chapters, chapter per chapter. Are you getting it? So now that is where reading is going to. It boils down to the same thing I was talking about. You have to put this food in the plates that people want to enjoy it. If a child doesn't want to take medicine, what do? You put it in the food. You package it elsewhere. You put it even in drinks.
Using the baiting style.
And the child takes it, wouldn't know he took it. Or when he takes it, he might squeeze his face, but he has taken it. The thing is, force it down the throat, whichever means.
Okay, sir, do you think it's pertinent, it's good for universities to include reading for pleasure in their curriculum?
The thing is, putting it in the curriculum would serve no purpose.
Reading for pleasure?
In the curriculum?
Yes.
It was, you see,
Once it's
there are too many things in the curriculum. The thing is, you can take a
I'm
horse.
not talking about reading academics. I mean reading for pleasure. You know, there are so many persons that have different likes, different tastes for different pleasures. So that's what I'm asking. Do you think
now, the thing is, it depends on how it's going to be presented in the class. Is it that at some point, there will be, people can sit and just tell them, let's read. Because if you tell people, part of the things in the curriculum is, there's a time you can read for pleasure, it's not for education. It's the same thing. If it is not in, if the packaging is not changed. Coca-Cola has changed the package how many times now? What are they trying to do? To entice you to keep drinking Coca-Cola.
Yes.
So when a product is not good, like sometimes you may come here, I don't know how many times, you can decide to change the color of this place. You feel like this thing is becoming too boring. Are you getting it? So when something is going too boring, you tell, when food sour, what do they do? You put Maggi, put other things, we put crayfish. Now so they do in those, I don't know about, you know, these days, some of us will grow for hunger. Well, our parents don't get money.
How do you think?
The things now, they just put it in things, and you enjoy it. That's how it works.
Okay, now going forward, how do you think we can actually curb, how do I put it now? This digital stuff of writing now.
Okay.
One of the things that affected reading culture, they say, just read to pass exam, read to pass exam. Okay. How do you think we can actually fine-tune it so that whether we are reading to pass exam or not, we will still enjoy reading.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's the thing, because the Nigerian system has always, made students to just go there and just you read for you to pass exam. The thing is, the student can be encouraged, not just to read to pass exam. You can bring in creative things, like normal text, like let's say engineering or medical, field. You can bring in the practicals. If you're teaching a student, how to use robots, and there's no single robot in the classroom, how will the student enjoy it? Everything is in the text. So you keep telling the student to go and read. He has never felt it. There are disciplines that are tangible. Humanities are not tangible. The arts.
Yeah.
You're getting it.
Yes.
So you're just told to, reason. I read English and literary studies. We were told to read the poems of Shakespeare, who died how many years ago, and explain what was in his mind, a ghost's mind. You understand? But in practical works like engineering, you have to bring in items that can help them feel what you are teaching. That is how the student can enjoy reading. So that when he reads the text,
In other words,
he can touch it.
Practical.
Practical. So bring in the practicals, bring the tools, buy the equipment. So that if you're teaching like now that is AI, let them understand how to use it. So the thing has to be hands-on.
So is it the teachers now, the government?
The teacher, whoever owns the institution, the teacher has to also force the chief executives to get these things. There are resources that are released by TED Fund through the federal government. But when each year you tell the chief executives, what do you want to use this thing for? Whatever comes to their mind is either they build infrastructure or maybe buy some papers and put in the class in the library. What happens to the practical tools?
Okay, sir, like this practical you're talking about, should they affect all spheres of academic endeavors?
All of it.
All right.
All of it.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, very soon we should be drawing the curtains close. Time is not on our friend. But before we draw the curtains close, I want to hear from my co-presenter. What's your parting words?
I would actually want him to give us a closing statement before I would say something. If you want to advise the students, the institutions, everybody, what would you?
Okay, now for students, nothing is better than reading. Knowledge is hidden in the walls of papers. Until you read it, you can never be knowledgeable.
Sure.
And when you get knowledge, you get everything. It can change your life within minutes. And for the teachers that are trying to impart this knowledge, please adapt to the present age. Serve it to the students in the plates they want to eat it. Don't force something that they don't want down their throats, so that everybody can be happy. Thank you.
All right, viewers, that was a very powerful one. Although he have been advocating for tech, we cannot just switch overnight. However, just know that whether you read paper or you read it through tech, you can only be informed. It is only the Bible that can transform you. See you next week.
All right, my amazing viewers, you've been to the program Edo Bookshelf, and of course, I'm sure you actually enjoyed today's episode. It has been exciting, amazing, and informative. Please, you're a teacher, you're a student, know that not only the theoretical aspect is important, the practical aspect is also necessary, according to my guest. I'm Chelsea Osho, your host. See you again in 7 days' time. God's willing. Thank you for tuning in today.
Reading is not just a hobby, it's a superpower. And today we are unlocking the minds, the moments, and the magic behind every great book on Edo Bookshelf, which is a program designed to showcase the importance and productivity of reading culture at all levels. Because when we read, we don't just absorb fact, we build empathy, strengthen focus, and expand our mental maps. Reading connected to the world we have never seen and to part of ourselves we have never met. Edo Bookshelf, raising and projecting literary giants and informed leaders in our society. Tune in with or say